What's up, y'all? Thanks for stopping by the Surge T channel. I am Surge T, and tonight's video I'll be doing my rundown and thoughts on NXT UK for the 16th of September 2021. And it kicks off with the Heritage Cup number one contender tournament semifinals match. And it is Noam Dar versus Kenny Williams, the so-called scum of the earth. So annoying because it's like, I don't give a fuck if you own it. It doesn't mean it sounds cool. You know what I mean? He even calls himself a cockroach. Oh, we get it. Cockroaches are scum of the earth too, right? Isn't that what it is? Anyway, let's get on to the match. The rules. You know what goes on. The first person to two falls wins. If it goes to, the end of the sixth round, they go into a sudden death thing. And as usual, the first round goes to no one. It's always the feeling out process when it comes to the first round. You can't really get a good beat on somebody in 3 minutes unless you're scheduled to be a squash match. We've seen squash matches. Karrion Kross, 2 minute squash by Jeff Hardy. It wasn't the other way around. It was Jeff Hardy that squashed him in 2 minutes. It probably would have worked out fine. He would have got the first. Jeff Hardy would have got the first fall in the first round. But it's not them. It's Noam Dar and Kenny Williams. No one gets it. Then the second round goes to Kenny Williams after feigning an injury. And then he wins with a handful of trunks. And he gets the pin. Third round, it goes to no one. But Dar was close to tapping Williams with that, what do you call that? A heel hook, a knee lock, however you want to call that move. And the bell rung. Ending the round, and Williams is still up by one fall to none. Fourth round goes to Noam Dar with a knee lock and taps Kenny Williams after Dar makes the ref think that Williams was going to use his water bottle as a weapon. And this allowed him to lock in the submission, and now both men go into the fifth round knotted up at one fall apiece. Now, the fifth round, it goes to, well, Shaw Samuels. Should have got the credit, right? The friend of Noam Dar, he pays dividends by holding Williams' leg as Shaw, he was under the ring and somehow stayed there the whole match, and he popped out and grabbed onto Kenny Williams' leg, and Dar was able to deliver a stiff kick. And then Williams connects with the Nova Roller, and he gets that victory, and he gets the deciding fall. And wasn't this how the match was last week? Whose match that was? But the one guy gets the first fall, dominating, and then he allows two straight falls, and this happens right here. Like, you know, I don't think I've ever seen a Heritage Cup rules match where a person two straight falls. I could think back, maybe I did, but it's been a while. But these guys have been doing the whole thing of one gets the person gets the first fall, and then the other person gets the two straight straight falls. I've seen one get one fall, the other get another fall, and then it goes back to the other guy who got the first fall. I've seen that, but kind of being a little bit too predictable in how they booking the winning. But like I've always said, I love Heritage Cup rules. I love this type of matches. They're really great. I wonder when the main roster is going to adapt it, or even NXT. Put a little bit more flavor, put a little bit more of a different spin and twist on matches instead of just the usual one-on-one match and a pinfall or submission. It will end the match. How about incorporating these rules in some of the matches? You know what I mean? But Dar moves to the finals, and he will face either Wolfgang or Tealman. That match is going to take place next week between Wolfgang and Tealman. And so, looking forward to that match. It's going to be physical. I love Wolfgang. Tealman is kind of growing on me a little bit. I like his way of handling this business in the ring. So we'll see what happens with that. Now, Sid Scala, the assistant to GM Johnny Saint, is in the ring. And he introduces the NXT champion, NXT UK champion, Ilya Dragunov. And Ilya says that he is happy and honored for the first time in a long time. His face shows what he went through and looks forward to returning to the UK. And in his mind, he is wondering who will try to take his title. Now, Nathan Frazier joins Scala in the ring and says, why not him? Then Rampage Brown enters the fray, and he feels if anybody is gonna get the shot, it's gonna be him. A-Kid speaks his mind, and his limit has not been reached, even though Dragunov pushed him near that limit. But, pushing him to his limit, really, according to A-Kid, wasn't enough because he still hasn't reached that. And then Scala says that, well, he will propose a triple threat match with GM Johnny Saint, and the UK champ likes that idea. Then Rampage takes out his possible opponents and establishes his dominance, and leaves them laying in the ring, licking their wounds, and Rampage just heading to the back, all smiles. And I wouldn't, I'd like to see Rampage Brown just because Rampage Brown is the type of opponent like Walter that's going to push Ilya Dragunov to put out his physical best. Look what he did with Walter, right? I think Rampage Brown will be a perfect opponent for him. Now, Isla Dawn may have put a hex or a spell or some kind of Wiccan thing on Ginny's dressing room. She had that what do you call that? That star kind of, maybe with lipstick on her, on her mirror. So is that a proposed thing, or is Isla Dawn, the White Witch is, gathering her ingredients for an ultimate spell? I don't know. It's kind of weird what she's doing. What is she up to? Who knows? But yeah, that's something to keep your eye on. Like, okay, what's gonna happen there? Now, Mustache Mountain's backstage, and they eye the winner of tonight's tag team championship match between the Coffey Brothers and Pretty Deadly. Uh, they have other things going on. They're juggling, like of course the Heritage Cup thing. The champion himself, Tyler Bate, has his eye on the possible opponent. And then the NXT UK Championship, Tyler Bate brought that up, and then Trent Seven kind of stopped them and said, "Hey, let's talk about the tag team championship." So got their eyes all over. Maybe they want to do what Gallus is looking to do and be all golden, to have the tag team titles and then also have Wolfgang be in the finals and then win it and then go on to face Tyler Bate. Let's see what happens. As the match goes on. I mean, as the match goes on, but as the evening goes on. Now, Amelia McKenzie faces Sophie Turner, and Amelia McKenzie has been kind of like a person that takes on the opponents, former opponents of Michael Satomura, makes them pay for disrespecting her mentor, and she has her eyes set on Sophie Turner. And it was a very good match. I liked it. Very physical, very back and forth. Millie McKenzie really does impress me. She has an amazing skill set. I love her. I love her drop kicks. Very, very pinpoint. They really hit the target. But Sophie Turner is real tough. She's a tough girl, man. And I'm telling you, her time in I believe she was. She wrestled in Japan, if I'm not mistaken. I know Amelia McKenzie definitely has. I mean, she's trained under, Meiko Satomura. But you see that style. You see that come through, and in the end, Sophie Turner, she ends up eating a double knees from Amelia McKenzie to her face, and Amelia McKenzie gets the victory. And this makes the second former Meiko Satomura challenger that she has taken out. And is this Mackenzie's way of making herself a challenger to her mentor's NXT UK women's title? Looks like that's the story. We've seen that before. Mentor versus student, student versus mentor kind of thing. And are they doing that? Are they going to make it a friendly game of, in a very, very fun and a very you know, because the matches that you see between a mentor and a mentor and a student, and if they're both baby faces, it's very 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 athletic match, very offensive, a lot of back and forth. These two, of course, are very scientific, so it's going to be one of those type of matches where they're trading, they're trading submissions, they're trading, various holds and stuff like that, and it makes for a really good match. I like those type of matches. But is Millie McKenzie going to go that same route where she's going to become a heel? turn on her mentor and demand the title shot, because Mako's going to be ignoring her, or accepting challenges from other things. But we've seen that with what's her name, with Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai, right? The champion ignoring her friend, ignoring somebody who's a challenger, and then eventually they go at it. It's going to happen here. We'll see. We'll wait and see. Now, Wolfgang and Tio Man, like I said, square off next week, and they have words for each other. Talk about family. Who's Tio Man's family, right? And then Rohan Raja, and then Wolfgang, his family is the brothers Coffey of Gallus. All three of them, of course, they are Gallus. And of course, his boys are going to be challenging for the tag team titles later on. And I can't wait to see that match between Tio Man and Wolfgang next week. Now, Charlie Dempsey, he debuts next week as a new guy. I mean, he talked a little bit there. He has I guess I got the impression that he doesn't like the way some of these guys wrestle. He's not that type of a wrestler. You know, what he's seen in the ring, he's not impressed with, I guess you say. So he's gonna show us, I guess, what he brings to the ring, and see if it's any different or if it's just the same, just as everybody else. Let's see what he can do in the ring. Now, Blair Davenport. This was done during the break. She took out Sophie Turner, left her in the ring, battered and bruised, and she says to the camera, "Bad things are going to keep happening unless Sid Scala reinstates her." She's somebody not to fuck with. Seriously, she definitely look what she did to Sid Scala. She'll do that to anybody. She took out Nina Samuels. I don't even know what's her condition, but we'll see if Sid Scala will address that next week. And don't know how they're gonna go about it. They're gonna go about it through a match. She's gonna have a match, and then if she beats somebody, she can get reinstated. Or just gonna add more to her thing. Add more to her sentence, if you will. And she's gonna be out for quite some time. But then look what she did. It's kind of funny how she's able to get into the BT Sports studios there. If she's suspended, or she's why is she allowed to go? How does she get into the ring? I mean, how does she get into the ring from? How does she get into the building, really? Yeah, work on that security there, Scala. Keep her out if if she's supposed to be suspended. What are you gonna do? You're gonna give in? You're gonna let her in? You're gonna reinstate her? We'll see what happens with that. Now, it has been confirmed that there will be a triple threat match to determine the next number one contender for the NXT UK Championship. And of course, they are Rampage Brown, Nathan Frazier, and A-Kid. And they will be competing for that right to face Ilya Dragunov. Like I said, Rampage Brown is my pick. Nathan Frazier is still rising. He's a guy that's definitely someone to keep an eye on. And an A-Kid has proven himself. He was the inaugural Heritage Cup champion, so he's got some taste of gold before. So you gotta kind of give it to those two for stepping up. But Rampage Brown pretty much stepped on him. He didn't step up. He stepped on them and left them in the ring, and pretty much said, I'm the one that's going to take on Ilya Dragunov. And next week, he'll prove that. I mean, he was in a triple threat match before to determine number one contender, and that match was with Joe Coffey, was it, right? And Ilya Dragunov, the eventual future champion. So if he wins it, there's definitely a precedent set that if you win that triple threat and number one contender match, you very well may go on to become the next NXT UK champ. Now, the NXT UK Tag Team title match, Coffey Brothers challenge Pretty Deadly, and it is physical despite the antics early on by Pretty Deadly, who proved that they can go blow for blow and be as physical as the brothers Coffey. And if anybody doubts Pretty Deadly's abilities and toughness, they need to watch this match, because they impressed me. I mean, both teams impressed, really. But Pretty Deadly, man, it's like they're good looking. They got those type of gear on that shows off their stomach, and They got that hat thing on, and it's all just like flamboyant style. And you're thinking, man, these guys are, they're like, powder puffs. They're like cream puffs. They can't be that tough. And then you watch them in here, and when they like turn that on, when that thing clicks in their head, and they turn to be and then they turn it around and they become physical in there, they become violent. Not only that, but they're a great team. They know each other in and out. They have like somebody in a hold, and then they put their hand back and get that tag. Sometimes on the sly, no one even sees it. It's like that's how in tune they are when it comes to them being a tag team. And no wonder that they, you know, have had up to this point 4 successful tag team title defenses. But no, the match was back and forth, a lot of action, and I have to give points to the reigning champs who do prevail with a double team move. It looked like a heart attack, that move from the Heart Foundation, but they kind of put a twist on it, and the one that is the one that's performing the move does more of a neck breaker, from what I see, you know. And they put away the Coffey brothers with that move, and they retain their fifth straight title defense. They're undefeated as tag team champions. So this is a match that to me it was very convincing. Like it didn't feel like, oh, they just let them win it because they want to extend their title reign. They really earned it, because the Coffee Brothers ain't no joke. They are physical. They are very very like in your face, smash mouth. And if you can't hang with them, they're gonna knock your ass out. You know what I mean? And Pretty Deadly, Sam Stoker and Lewis Howley, they're no joke. This match, I think, right here, because sometimes it takes a match, takes an opponent that you face to really make you someone to take seriously. And this match right here really, really did prove that they are legit. I mean, not saying that I've never thought that they weren't a good tag team. They are. But this match right here, especially if you survive, and that's what Nigel McGuinness said, is that they survived this match, and they sure did. They survived, and they thrived, and they retained their titles in a very, very convincing fashion. And hats off to them, and congratulations to the Pretty Deadly and Coffee Brothers. Better luck next time. But I think that they will be back on the hunt, maybe sooner rather than later. But my Mustache Mountain is looking to challenge for that title. I believe they challenged prior, right? I think they were the last they were the last ones to challenge those guys. The Pretty Deadly. So yeah, are they up for a challenge? Did they prove themselves? I mean, do they have to go through another match? Maybe the Coffee Brothers are going to want to challenge the Mustache Mountain so that they can see if they can get themselves back into it. I like to see a triple threat match between all three of those teams. Maybe add one more team in there. Probably a little bit too crowded if you do that. But I'm really looking forward to either one of those teams challenging Pretty Deadly again. But like I said, it was a great defense for them, and it was a great match. I liked it. It was okay. And I really liked this edition of NXT UK. And well, that was my rundown and thoughts on NXT UK for the 16th of September 2021. So for those of you who stopped by and checked out my video, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And in closing, as always, take care.